Hello everybody, my name is Santiago Zapata and today I'm gonna show you the first version of my entry for Richard Garriott's DND1 contest. In case you don't know, Richard Garriott is the original author of the Ultima series, and this contest is about recreating one of his first computer games, a game he made back in 1977. This game would eventually evolve into a Calabet after 28 iterations, which will later become Ultima and give birth to the whole Ultima series. Uh, so, as you could expect, this is a game made in 1977. Was one of his first games, and it's pretty a bit buggy, a bit incomplete. Uh, you can definitively see this is not a complete version of the game, but it's still interesting to see how games were made back then. So, okay, what Richard did was he released the source code of his game. Uh, Actually, this is like a backup from the teletype where the game was on, and he put it online so you can see the source code is about 30 pages long. I actually used a digitally remastered version created by DJC, a member of the Shard of the Avatar forums. So it made it a bit easier to translate the the code. It's already much more readable. And what I am using is JavaScript. The contest has an option to use both Unity or JavaScript, but since I am more of a JavaScript programmer, that's what I used. So what I did basically was taking all the source code, the whole source code in the basic form, and translate it into the a completely different non-procedural way because JavaScript is incompatible with the way BASIC works. So I made it event-based instead of procedural, and that was a huge amount of work. Um, I should also note that I am in parallel I am developing this library which is called GA's teletype. You're gonna see more about it soon. So this version isn't yet complete, but I thought I'd show it because I think it's going along pretty nice. So let's go and check it out. So the original source code is full of typos and grammar mistakes, but I decided to leave it like that just to preserve the spirit of the original. Actually, in the original game, this is one of those kind of weird condition, and you can only play with a username chaps. So let's retry. So as you can see, most of the things in this game, from this basic form, evolved into the computer RPG we all know, including the Ultima series. This game actually, or as long as I know, as far as I know, uh, the only way to play it was using a teletype. So instead of a computer monitor, you have to use this kind of devices, which are like a printer connected to the computer via interface. And instead of seeing things on screen, they could get printed on a paper. So in this game, it's a basic, very basic dungeon crawler. You pick a class. Depending on the class, you can equip different items and also cast different spells. Let's go with a fighter, which is the simplest one. We are in the first part of the game. In the setup, we get to buy some equipment, and then it shows us our characteristics. Okay, it's reading the level now, and we are into the game. So it tells us where we are inside the dungeon, and this is very handy. This is the command list help. It's all the help you're gonna get. So the game works based on a prompt where you enter a command and then start interacting with the program. So for example, we can use the command number 6, which is very handy. It allows us to look around. Yeah, and actually, this is interesting. The original contest entry said that the game used characters, ASCII characters, for the representation of the dungeon, but that's not actually true. Maybe that was one of the later versions of the game because there were 28 of them. But this one uses the letters, or rather the numbers, which represent each tile on the level. So 1 are walls, 9 is the character, 0 is flat floor, 5 are monsters, and so on. Talking about monster, there's a combat system in place, but it's very uh, sim. I mean, it's not simple. It's complex but unbalanced. I mean, you can see that there was a lot to develop here in order to make this a full game. So let's use the movement command. Let's walk toward the monster, which is the 5, I think. So it asks us what direction are we gonna move. Let's go down. And let's take a look around. We should be closer to the monster, or whatever the 5 is. I don't really remember if it's the monster. Yep, we come up a tile down. We gotta walk 4 tiles down. So let's do it. So it's 1. Oh, I fell into a trap, and it's gonna hurt because, as far as I remember in the source code, I must have a spike and rope in order to live, and I don't have any. So no spikes, that's too bad, cause you're dead. So that was a very short trip into the dungeon, uh, but I hope you liked the way it's shaping up. Uh, there's still some time left in the contest, and I'm not entirely sure if my entry complies with the contest parameters because I added some eye candy. Still, it's been pretty fun and pretty hard uh, translating all those spaghetti code, all those Goros into some kind of handable thing. But I think I may work a bit more on it in the following weeks. So there may be a final version. I will be releasing it in the public. So stay tuned to the channel and have a nice day. Bye bye.